That was cool. That was fun right there. I'm also laughing because that homework thing you said. I feel like we all get assignments from the creator regularly. And if you're the kind of student I wasn't always appreciative of homework. First, I'd get, huffy and puffy, and then I would go home and really, really hope my mother forgot to ask, "Do you have homework?" I would just so be I want to watch The Simpsons. I don't want to do homework. And I remember way later in life, me actually loving school and loving my homework, and actually realizing how doing the work was transforming me into something greater. But I had to be at peace with the homework first. We are all pieces in this huge, beautiful puzzle called God. Everybody is a piece in that. And so when I think of the word peace, it's more of a play on words because I realize to be at peace is when we stop seeing pieces and we see the entire puzzle.
Yes.
You have to be okay with the piece that you are to fit in that puzzle. More on that hip hop generation. See, I'm an 80s baby and I got to see the evolution of hip hop. And one of my favorite things about that is, well, when you're born in 81, you get to tell all the kids who were born pretty much after 97, like you do realize you missed everything, right? You might as well just listen to another genre. And there were so many different, just amazing MCs and breakdancers and DJs and graph writers, just so many. But the one thing they all have in common is they look so cool. And I wanted to be that kind of cool. And oftentimes, in wanting to be the type of cool someone is expressing, we can get too caught up in their own expression, forgetting you have a divine expression that is screaming to be expressed and let out. And if we get too caught up in someone else's cool, we lose our own peace. I am from Oakland, California. Please understand that anyone from my era, we worshiped Tupac. And the number one reason is because he was so cool. I remember around like after that movie Poetic Justice was shot, and this is a movie he did with Janet Jackson. She was I forget how they got on the subject, but apparently she wasn't feeling Tupac like the rest of us were, which was very intimidating because it's like, well, who do you think we all try to act like when we want to meet somebody? And I realize that everyone's unique cool is amazing when you're at peace with it, but you have to be willing to be at peace with it. Now, if you also like fantasy stories like I do, there's something that every fantasy story, movie, what have you, has in common, and that is that the treasure or the magic ring or the book of secrets, whatever it is, it's always in a deep, dark, scary forest. Or there's some dragon that's guarding it. It's something like that. We emerge, we manifest physically, knowing exactly who we are and what we are supposed to do.
Yes.
And then as we get settled in the physical reality that we're looking around, we start to maybe believe a lot of the things that may not be true. That first time you go to public school and your nose is funny. Well, why do you wear those shoes? Or, your handwriting's ugly. We start to accept and believe these things. And little by little, we start to hide our cool. I know I did. Oh my goodness, I did. I realize now, I can say it in front of y'all, I'm very sensitive. There was a time you weren't supposed to say that as a man. Like, oh, you just said that you were sensitive. I'm sensitive. Yes, I am. And part of that, me being sensitive, is when I wake up with an attitude, I want to have my attitude. Please don't try to smile at me. It's not going to change anything. No, I don't feel like hugging you. No, but here's what's funny. What that really means is I want to hold on to whatever I am angry at. The moment I let that go and allow the peace and love that's surrounding me to just wrap itself around, I'm like, wow, that feels amazing. The reason I say that is because when I'm in that mode, I understand that, well, peaceful people, when you're not in a so peaceful mood, can be outright annoying, right? You know what I'm saying? You just have the worst day of your life and somebody just, hey, how's it going? You're just like, ooh, I could just. But when we surrender to it and allow the peace that it feels so amazing, feels so amazing. Watching the NBA gives me a great metaphor, especially when it's time for them to do a free throw. Because we all see that crowd doing their best to throw off the person shooting the shot, especially if you know if it's the away team taking the free throw shot. You hear the crowd just screaming and doing their best to distract this person. That's what our peace is like. We are constantly working on our free throws. That's our assignment. And while we're shooting those free throws, the world around us is trying to distract us. Hey, there's hate over here. Hey, racism's over here. Hey, how about a little sexism? Hey, you know you need to worry about what's going on in this country. And that's what's going on. And when we just allow ourselves to be at peace, it really does not affect us. I'm realizing now that love is our superpower. That is our superpower. Love is indestructible. Love is how you build bridges. You can't build anything on hate, it doesn't sustain. When we allow ourselves to love, I mean, no matter how much we're hurting, when we allow ourselves to love, we move mountains. But if we stay at that place where someone disappointed us, we don't continue in the game. Um, there it is right there. See, it's easy to talk about peace and love and harmony when everything's going right. Last time I felt that, I'll be honest, that everything was going right. I'm 44 now, so yeah, that was about maybe 30 years ago. Didn't have to pay rent, didn't have to go to work. All I had to do was just finish my chores and my homework and whatever level I was playing on at the time. It was perfect, so I thought. But I realized that when I'm at peace and everything, you have no idea, young man. Look at us right now, survivors of whatever it is we've been experienced in this amazing yet very chaotic world. We are survivors. Everyone in here has a story of something they survived. See, when you talk about you being at peace, I can listen because I know you have the history to back it up. But the whole time when my life was just so peachy and there was no challenges, I had no idea. Without the challenge, we are faking. Can you say I'm at peace when right in it, right in the middle of the ugliness, where it's just screaming at you, can you still say I am at peace? Can you do it? That's the challenge. That's the fun in it. This is why we forgive. This is why we meditate, to let that go because we have more awesomeness to do in the world. But if we hold on to that, We're cheating ourselves. Now, I'll admit I can hold a grudge. I can. Oh my goodness, I can hold a grudge, especially when it comes to sports. I'm still mad at Tom Brady for what happened in the playoffs. He doesn't even play in the NFL anymore, and I'm still mad at him. And I realize the more I hang on to that, I'm angry, I'm cheating myself. People who work in the prisons talk about how it's a challenge for them to not bring their work home. And it's too easy to understand why. To put someone in jail, you have to be in jail with them. I have to make sure you're in there. I have to feed you. I have to mess with your mind and put cuffs on you. And I have to be in jail with you in order for you to be in jail. But I want to be free. I want to be free. And in order for me to be free, I have to let you out of jail. And I realized that person I'm talking about that we put in jail, we think we're putting other people in jail. I'm realizing now when people disappoint us and we put them in jail, what we're really putting in jail is that part of us that we have not been able to forgive yet. How could you do that to me? Well, hold on, Luchan. How many times have you done that? I know, but when they do it, it reminds me of that time where I did it, and I don't like that, so I have to put them in jail for it. We all do it. Cut it out. It's not just me. And more on jail. While I walk around this beautiful place we call the Bay Area, free to do what I want, I think about my friends who are never coming home, who are doing time right now, never coming home. Yet, whenever they send me a picture, whenever they write me, I can feel the peace and love and serenity that they're experiencing because they've done the work. That's when I realized that jail is a state of mind. My homies are locked up, and yet they are showing me the peace and love that exists in their own consciousness. I remember in college, and I went away to a very small HBCU in Tennessee. So this was my first time away from home, and it's just an amazing experience. And I noticed two people right away. And number one was the dean of our school. And this sister was amazing. All kinds of PhDs and just, oh, what an amazing woman. All kinds of beautiful cars, and I think three big old homes. I mean, it was just like, that's what I'm going to college for right there. Okay. But she never really seemed happy. When she smiled, it was like, whoa, okay, I need to be smiling today. If she's smiling, she never really seemed happy for whatever reason. And we had the janitor of our dorm. Now understand, okay, I'm letting your imagination work here. This is a college dorm for men, for boys pretty much. We was just teenagers 2 seconds ago. Think about the condition that dorm is in. Can you smell the socks? Can you? Just everywhere. I don't know what was wrong with me. Just all right, I'm off of school. Let me just drop these anywhere because and yet he was always joking with us, always making us smile. When we were in a bad mood, he would make sure to make us laugh before we went off to class. This is when I realized that the wealth and so-called success that I was after does not necessarily give me peace. It was both comforting and very frightening all at the same time. There's that story about when Moses has led the people and they've been away from Pharaoh and we didn't already split the Red Sea and just all these amazing things. And, you know, he needs to take a break, which is what we all need to do because we're all prophets in our own story. So he takes this break and he walks away. And of course, this is the story where he goes and talks to the burning bush. But the main thing in this story is while he's away, the people lost faith. Some did. And they needed something to believe in. So they create this golden god. You know, God made a solid gold, a statue, and they're praying to it. And when he gets back, he's like, yo, what's this? And everything in the Bible is a metaphor. because we're metaphysicians and we just know anything we look to for a peace outside of ourselves represents that same golden cow consciousness. That job you think you need that defines you. That automobile you think you just have to have. That fly pair of Jordans. Talk about myself. That's all the golden cow. I'm not saying those things are not nice to have. I'm just saying that understand you are already whole, perfect, and complete right where you are, regardless of whatever you tell yourself. Once we find that inner peace, that's the beginning of that world that we want that works for everyone. If I'm at peace with myself, I don't have room to hate anybody. I don't have room to condemn a whole group of people. I don't have room for that. I'm too busy being at peace with myself. This is why we talk about not wanting haters at our party. Only players allowed here. And the player is somebody who is just winning at their life, doing what they want to do. The moment we see somebody winning at life and we feel a way about it, we are giving off hater consciousness. Be a player. We're all players in this game we call life anyway. And here's how we experience that peace. See, I'm realizing more and more. We can't fool the universe. I can say namaste all day, have all the crystals, all the sage. What else do we have? Singing bowls. I got all that. I could wear onks and all the symbols around. I can do all of that. If I do not believe it, I am faking, and the universe knows it. The universe hears everything, not just words, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, your non-actions. The universe hears everything. You can't escape it. All we can do is just do the work. What are you holding on to that you think defines you? How are you holding it? Can you look at that thing, no matter how ugly you believe it is, and say, that is God? Can you do it? It's easy to do it now around all these beautiful people. When you get that news headline, can you do it then? My grandmother tells this amazing story, and I love telling this story because when she told this story, it was right in that moment I realized that, wow, I think I wanna speak. And my grandmother loves baseball. And so she talks about this pitcher who's at the mound, and pitcher gives the wind up. And right when the pitcher lets the ball go, pitcher says, "Ooh, that's a ball." And the batter's looking at that. And the batter's like, that looks like a strike. And the back catcher's looking at it and saying, that might be a hit. And the umpire goes, it ain't nothing until I call it something. We don't have to decide this is terrible. We don't have to decide that. We can just say, God, help me see the awesomeness in this. Matter of fact, we don't even have to do that. We can do the shortcut and just declare it right there anyway. If all there is God, then no matter how much we are not enjoying whatever it is that we're getting in the moment, we can just decide right there in that moment, I do not understand what this is, God, but I know that this is awesome somehow. What's even funny about that is God has a funny way of later on down the line, you realize why that happened. You're like, oh, okay. 30 years later, I get it now why I went through that. Thank you, God. But we can just decide it. I've always hated algebra. It's just something about, once we got to math and we started incorporating letters in with the numbers, like, what? Huh? I know my ABCs. There's no numbers in that. And then I learned about formula. The formula. Every equation, there's a formula in solving that equation. I see some of you smiling because you already see the metaphor. The universe is mathematical. The universe is mathematical, and every equation that comes into your life, there is a formula for it. If we trust the math, we don't have to spend too much time wondering. We can just trust the math. There are formulas that exist in math that will always be, and if we spend too much time, like, okay, but how is that really? And okay, all the time it's that way, you're wasting time. Use the formula. God is all there is, regardless of appearances. That is the formula. There's a hip hop duo from Oakland by the name of Blackalicious. And one of the MCs in that group passed a few years ago. Rest in peace to Gift of Gab. Matter of fact, if you are going down Broadway and you pass Grand facing downtown, to the right of you, you'll see two murals. One is Baba Zumbi, rest in peace, and the other one is Chief Excel. Gift of Gab, and you know it's him because it has a little bow on his microphone because his name is Gift of Gab. And Black Alicious has this song from their album called Broken Arrow called "Feel That Way." And the words just, I can never get through the song without crying because he's talking about moments in your life that made you feel great, made you feel loved, made you feel happy and won. And you don't have to just physically go back to that. You can go back in your mind and know what that feeling is and just decide to feel that way. That time where you hit your first ball in the game, that time where you got your first kiss or your first dance, you can feel that way right now. So whatever gives you peace, find that moment right now in your consciousness. Let go of whatever it is that's saying, hey, worry about me. And decide to feel that way. Namaste, home of truth.